April 6, 2020. Jeffrey Katzenberg launches a streaming service he has spent 4 years building. The world is in lockdown. The product was designed for commuters. There are no commuters. Welcome to the final save. This is the story of Quibi, a company built on one of the most confident premises in the history of entertainment, funded by nearly every major Hollywood studio, and undone by a collision of flawed design, disputed numbers, and a pandemic that made its core premise obsolete before a single subscriber paid their first bill. August 2016. Jeffrey Katzenberg is 65 years old. He has just spent 12 years building DreamWorks Animation. Before that, he spent a decade as chairman of Disney, overseeing the studio's 90s revival, The Lion King, Aladdin, Beauty and the Beast. He has just sold DreamWorks to NBC Universal for $3.8 billion. He is not the kind of person who stops. He begins working privately on an idea he calls NewTV. The concept, premium short-form video, made specifically for a phone, consumed in brief intervals during the moments of daily life that screens have always missed. 10-minute episodes, feature film budgets, mobile-first architecture, the commute, the line, the lunch break. In January 2017, he launches WndrCo, a Beverly Hills holding company. It becomes the corporate vehicle for the project. In July 2017, he takes the concept public at the Sun Valley Media Conference, speaking to Variety. He describes the format as the inevitable next step in entertainment. Studios and investors begin evaluating the pitch. In August 2018, NewTV Inc. is formally incorporated. Katzenberg names Meg Whitman as CEO. Whitman spent 10 years running eBay, growing annual revenue from $4 million to $8 billion. She then ran Hewlett-Packard and HPE for 7 years. She is not a startup founder. She is a scaling operator, which is exactly what a company trying to build a new media category needs. Katzenberg closes a $1 billion seed round the same month. The investor list is staggering: Disney, 21st Century Fox, NBC Universal, Sony Pictures, Warner Media, Viacom, Lionsgate, MGM, BBC Studios, Alibaba, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Gimme Studios, Alibaba, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan Chase, Liberty Global. Nearly every major studio in Hollywood has a financial stake in this company before it has a product, a name, or a single user. Katzenberg personally puts in $5.5 million. By locking in the studios as investors, Katzenberg eliminates them as critics and neutralizes them as competitors. None of them can publicly root against Quibi. They are on the same side for now. On October 10, 2018, at the Vanity Fair New Establishment Summit in Los Angeles, Katzenberg and Whitman reveal the name, Quibi, short for Quick Bites. The brand is clean. The pitch is airtight. What Katzenberg is selling is not short video. That already exists. YouTube has been around for 15 years. TikTok is already growing. What he is selling is premium, cinematic production values compressed into phone-scale episodes. The budget ceiling for scripted content is set at $125,000 per minute. Unscripted, $50,000 per minute. The stated first-year content budget is $1.1 billion. The creative deals follow the money. Steven Spielberg commissions an untitled horror anthology that can only be watched after dark. The app uses the device clock to lock episodes during daylight hours. Christoph Waltz and Liam Hemsworth star in Most Dangerous Game. Anna Kendrick leads Dummy. Kevin Hart leads Die Hard. The creators of Reno 911 bring back the show for an exclusive 7th season revival. Reese Witherspoon is reportedly paid $6 million to narrate a 7-episode nature documentary called Fierce Queens. Quibi later disputes the figure, saying the full licensing deal was under $3 million. The technical centerpiece is Turnstyle. The feature detects phone orientation and automatically switches between 2 different cuts of the same content, one framed for portrait, one for landscape. On January 8, 2020, at CES in Las Vegas, Katzenberg and Whitman demonstrated live. The press response is broadly positive. The product looks polished. The company looks ready. By October 2019, Quibi has already sold its entire first-year advertising inventory, $150 million in commitments for a product no one has seen. Advertisers include Google, Procter & Gamble, PepsiCo, Discover, and Taco Bell. PepsiCo, Discover, and Taco Bell. The company projects 7 million subscribers in year one. On March 5, 2020, Quibi closes its second funding round, $750 million. Total capital raised, $1.75 billion. The most heavily funded pre-launch streaming service in history. 6 days later, the premise collapses. March 11, 2020. The World Health Organization declares COVID-19 a pandemic. The NBA suspends its season the same day. Lockdowns begin within days across major American cities. Offices close. The commute disappears. The line disappears. The lunch break disappears. The lunch break disappears. Every context Quibi was designed for, the moments between moments, is gone. The company's entire premise depends on a version of daily life that no longer exists. Quibi does not delay. The launch date holds. April 6, 2020. The app goes live in the United States and Canada on iOS and Android. Pricing: $4.99 per month with ads, $7.99 without. New subscribers receive a 90-day free trial. The product is mobile only, no desktop, no television, no Chromecast, no AirPlay, no screenshot function. The content cannot be cast to another screen. The content cannot be clipped and shared. You watch it on your phone, in your home, with a 55-inch television 3 feet away. In late March 2020, 12 days before launch, a company called Eko files a lawsuit against Quibi. Eko is an interactive video startup based in New York. They allege that Turnstyle was stolen. Eko claims that employees who moved from Snapchat to Quibi brought the orientation switching technology after attending a confidential Eko demonstration in 2019. They seek $96.5 million in damages. Quibi's signature feature is legally contested before anyone pays for the app. The opening numbers look encouraging. 910,000 users sign up for free trials in the first 3 days. 1.7 million total downloads in the first week. Internally, the company is watching a different metric: conversion. How many of these users will still be paying when the 90-day trial expires? Six weeks after launch, Katzenberg speaks to the New York Times. He says, "I attribute everything that has gone wrong to coronavirus." The quote runs everywhere. It is a striking statement. The product has been live for 6 weeks. No subscriber data has been published. The company's founder is already assigning blame to a single external cause. Under pressure, Quibi announces it will add AirPlay and Chromecast support. 6 weeks after launch, the company begins dismantling a core design decision that had shaped the product for 4 years. The mobile-only streaming service is adding TV support. In June 2020, reports surfaced that Quibi has asked senior executives to take a 10% pay cut and discussed laying off roughly 10% of its 250 employees. Whitman takes the cut. The celebrity content budgets and the internal austerity become a public story with named figures attached. On July 8, 2020, Sensor Tower publishes its analysis. Of the users who signed up for free trials on launch day, only an estimated 72,000 converted to paid subscribers when the 90 days expired, an 8% conversion rate. Quibi calls the figures incorrect by an order of magnitude, but the number is in print. It becomes the public shorthand for the failure. 7 million was the year one target. 72,000 is just over 1% of that number. Then the Emmy nominations arrive. Quibi earns 10 nominations, dominating the short-form categories. Most Dangerous Game, The Reno 911 Revival, Free Rayshawn receives 3 nominations alone. In September 2020, Quibi wins 2 Creative Arts Emmy Awards. The content quality is real. The industry acknowledges it. The subscriber count does not move. In September and October 2020, Quibi explores a sale. The company hires LionTree to run the process. Potential buyers reportedly include NBC Universal and Facebook. No deal materializes. The studios that funded this company will not acquire it. On October 21, 2020, the Wall Street Journal reports that Quibi is shutting down. Katzenberg and Whitman confirmed the decision the same day. The company cites its failure to attract sufficient subscribers. At the time of the announcement, approximately 500,000 subscribers are on the service, a figure that conflicts with the 72,000 estimate from 3 months earlier. Neither number has been independently verified against Quibi's actual records. Quibi disputed both at various points. Neither figure is 7 million. Katzenberg speaks to CNBC. He walks back the COVID blame. It's not fair, he says. He offers 2 possible explanations. The idea was wrong, or the timing was wrong. He adds that it was maybe everything together. Whitman's statement is more precise. Quibi was not, after all, the right idea at the right time. 250 employees receive layoff notices as the company winds down. December 1, 2020. The app goes dark. All content is removed from the platform. The service has run for 236 days. In January 2021, Roku announces it has acquired global distribution rights to more than 75 Quibi shows. The price is not officially disclosed. Reporting places it at significantly less than $100 million. The content, produced at up to $125,000 per minute, is now free on the Roku channel, ad-supported. $1.75 billion raised. Content sold for under $100 million. Investors recover an estimated $350 million in returned cash. The company burned through capital at a rate of $40 to $50 million per month across 26 months of operation. In September 2021, Quibi and Eko settled the Turnstyle lawsuit. Quibi transfers the Turnstyle intellectual property and technology to Eko. No money changes hands. The most distinctive feature Quibi ever built, the one they demonstrated at CES and called a new form of storytelling, ends up owned by the company that accused them of stealing it. Legally contested from launch day to the day the servers went dark, the technology now belongs to someone else. Quibi.com resolves to nothing. Jeffrey Katzenberg built The Lion King. He built Shrek. He built a $1 billion animation studio and sold it for $3.8 billion. Then he spent 4 years and $1.75 billion trying to convince the world that the right context for premium television was a phone screen, consumed in 10-minute intervals during the exact moments of daily life that a global lockdown had just eliminated. The pandemic accelerated the collapse, but the problems predate March 2020. A mobile-only product with no casting, no sharing, no screenshot capability, launching into a market where free short-form video was already abundant. A 90-day free trial that delayed the conversion reckoning until it was too late to fix anything. A subscriber target of 7 million that the company may have missed by a factor of 100. Katzenberg eventually settled on the simplest answer. It was maybe everything. Meg Whitman was more precise, not the right idea at the right time. One anonymous employee, speaking to The Hollywood Reporter, put it in 2 words: what a disaster. If there is a company, a platform, or a project you think deserves this kind of autopsy, leave it in the comments below.